Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Today is May 21st. It's the 68th day of the semi-quarantine. We find ourselves this morning in a passage in Luke chapter 8, three verses. Verse 19, this is about Jesus' mother and brothers, it says. And we started a thought on it during the last podcast, but today I have a new thought for you. A story. We have a story, an extra biblical story today. So stay tuned. I'm going to read the passage, then I'm going to tell you the story. Then his mothers and brothers came to him, but they could not reach him because of the crowd. And he was told, "Your mother and your brothers are standing outside, desiring to see you." But he answered them, "My mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it." And I'm reading a biography called The Passionate Preaching of Martyn Lloyd-Jones, a man I was totally unfamiliar with. And the story goes that he was consumed with ascertaining divine direction for his life and really wrestling with God. He was a smart guy, and so had to all moments with the Lord probably had to come through his mind. And then he tells the story of going to the theater one night and something happened. So here's the story. This desperate search reached its zenith one night when he, Beth Ann, that's his wife, or soon-to-be wife, I think it's his wife by this point, and another couple went to a theater in Leicester Square, London. When the play was over, the four of them exited the theater and walked out into the bright lights of the busy square. There, Lloyd-Jones observed a Salvation Army band playing hymns and giving a gospel witness. He was immediately struck by their strong convictions in the Lord. As he witnessed this little ministry team proclaiming the message of salvation, he concluded that in this decisive moment, quote, "These are my people," unquote. In that pivotal event, he crossed the line and answered God's call upon his life to preach the word. Reflecting upon this time, Lloyd-Jones summarized it this way. And now Lloyd-Jones is writing. "I've never forgotten it. There was a theme in Wagner's opera Tannhauser, the two pulls, the pull of the world and the chorus of the pilgrims, and the contrast between the two. I have very often thought of it. I know exactly what it means. I suppose I had enjoyed the play. When I heard this band and the hymns, I said," again, quote now, "These are my people. These are the people I belong to, and I am going to belong to them." Let me say that again. These are my people. These are the people I belong to, and I am going to belong to them. And I think it resonates with this particular passage where Jesus says, my mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it. So my question for you today is, who are your dorky people that you associate with in the church? Of course, they're imperfect people. Those are our only choices in the church. And in a sense, identification with the Lord is identification with his people. Commitment to the Lord is commitment to his people. If a person would say, I am a Christian, I would say, well, what church do you go to? There's no other alternative unless you're maybe in prison or something, or in some country where you are the only Christian. But Christianity equals fellowship, and more than this guy was a doctor and other groups of people, he chooses the Lord as the primary choice in the story, but really it was brought through choice of the people and knowing how God feels about his people that it really makes perfect sense. So who are your people? And how will you belong to them today? Who will you belong to, and how will you belong to them today? So my prayer is like Jesus, saying that the people of God are very, very close to me, closer than relatives in many ways. Jesus says, my mother and brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it. Martyn Lloyd-Jones says, these are my people. These are the people I belong to, and I am going to belong to them. May it be so for us today as well.